Hey, you guys. So, waiting for the camera to zone in. There we go. So, I had been asked last week, I believe, when I did the reading on um, Alzheimer's, I had been asked to look into Tourette syndrome, okay? And I said that I was going to do that. And I feel that that's super important. I feel like taking a peek and getting advice from spirit is really important around these things, okay? So, first off, I'm going to say I am not a doctor. I do not claim to be a doctor. I'm not given medical advice. I'm just reading the tarot here, right? So that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say is that the healing intentions and the high vibes are always set for all of you. All of the high vibrational frequencies of the universe and the world that we have available to us, and those that we don't those that we don't, I pull in that intention and I conjure a lot of energy, and I set that intention that all of you receive it if you so choose. So go ahead and stand in your power and decree it for your highest and greatest good, only and always, if you so choose. Okay, always stand in your power and make your decrees, guys. So there's that. And then, so what I asked for, I always ask for a true story around things, right? I always want only the truth. Only the truth is welcome here. So I asked for a true story, and this is really heartbreaking. I hope everybody really takes this to heart as I read this, okay? So what spirit wanted to say, what they really wanted to say, is that people that suffer with Tourette's go under tremendous judgment and they feel judged all the time. And that is so very sad, okay? And so then above that, they wanted us to know what a hard road, hard fought battle this is when you have Tourette's. Now, I know a lot of people, there's different degrees of it, right? Just like with autism, different degrees. But this is a terrible, terrible feeling to feel as though you're being judged all the time and to have every day of your life feel like a battle. And that's the truth around people that suffer with Tourette's syndrome, you guys. So, across from that, a lot of people focus like nasty emotions on them, and they feel like they're uncomfortable. They're really uncomfortable in the community. So they feel as though people are focused on them, and it makes them uncomfortable. They feel as though people are focused um, on them in a negative way, and that makes them uncomfortable. And they're very uncomfortable out in public in the communities because of this judgment and how hard this battle is and how they feel people are treating them. And so Spirit wants to say, listen, the energy that's driving this reading is justice. And it's a balancing of the scales. So already we're getting a key indication right here that there's an imbalance going on in these people. So that's our first cue, right? There's something imbalanced in you if you are struggling with Tourette's, okay? And so then, but the universe is always saying, balance these scales and be kind. Be kind to people. Be loving, be caring, and use your words with the utmost respect and love. The universe really wants people to be a hell of a lot nicer to those that suffer with Tourette's. And that's a very clear message today. But they're already saying that there's an imbalance. That's that first clue, okay? So I asked for more. I asked for more. And again, we got this high priestess, all right? There's that balance goes hand in hand with this balance. So we're knowing that there's an imbalance. There's a definite imbalance going on with you folks, and definitely an uncomfortableness in your own body. So you're never quite comfortable in your own body. They're telling you here some earth healing, definite earth healing is required. So peaceful, sitting out in nature, taking in the energy of the earth. There's something to do with heat, you guys. So something to do with heat and warmth, and being still, okay? because with this, it's a stillness, so it's an indication that there's some sort of an impulse control. There's an impulse control issue going on within the body that's causing this imbalance, okay? We're going to get this again, too. So there's something to do with heat and stillness that could help with this, and earth healing that can help with this syndrome. Something to do with heat and stillness, possibly high frequency healing, but there's a misfiring going on here. There's a misfiring, okay? And then as we come down, we come into these King of Pentacles again, and he's all about the earth. And they're saying it's earth healing. There's something in these negative ions that you can receive from the earth that it would be beneficial to you guys. So if I were you, this is just me, if someone was telling me that I have a condition where there's something of the earth that could be somehow helpful to me right now, I would be putting a salt lamp by my bed. I would be putting salt lamps in every part of my house. I would be doing everything that I can, especially in my home where all of this electronic stuff puts out all of these positive ions. I would definitely be trying to take care of those positive ions and get the negative ions back into my home, right? And I would be out earthing as much as possible. And I would definitely earth at the beach. If you live near water, go to the beach. Negative ions are really, really like they're rampant there, right? So I would be spending a lot of time at the beach. I would be walking in the water. I would even be bringing home buckets of salt water and a little bit of that sand from the beach. And I would be soaking my feet. I'd put some of that sand in a bucket, and I would put that salt water in there, and I would be soaking my feet in that every night. I would be getting out, and I would be sitting still in nature. And there's something about heat, you guys, so don't allow yourselves to get cold. Maybe there's some sort of heat therapy, because there's something to do with heat. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a naturopath. I'm a tarot reader. I'm a Reiki master. I move energy. I pull light. I do these things. You know, I have knowledge of things, but I am not a doctor. I am not a naturopath. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm only reading the tarot cards, okay? But there's something to do with heat, so don't allow yourself to get cold, or possibly there's some heat therapy. Also with this, it's definite that you could benefit from these high frequency healings. So look into getting some Reiki healing, look into going and getting some acupuncture healing, right? Because these are swords, so they're sharp, right? So look into some acupuncture. Definitely get out into nature, do your earthing, pull in those negative ions, do some meditation, sit quietly in the woods. With this King of Pentacles, this is all about nature. And so is she, the Empress. She is the great earth healer. So there's something healing in the earth for you, out in nature. Be still in nature. There's something about not getting cold and staying warm. Be sure to be warm. Yes, look at the quantum biofeedback frequencies. See if you can find a practitioner near you. Look into some acupuncture, energy work, lots of earth healing. Go see a naturopath, possibly taking in some natural herbs. Could go a long ways for you. Things of the earth. Things of the earth. I would even look into diet, because this is all things of the earth, earth healing. So think of everything that you can of the earth, right? So then again, up here, what we got was, there is a definite imbalance. Something is triggering fast. It's like, it's almost like an impulse, because when you're looking at this celebratory card, it's like the happy feeling, right? And happy feelings, what do they make us do? They make us jump, they make us scream, they make us laugh impulsively, right? So there's an imbalance, and then energy moves quickly, and it causes this impulse control, okay? And it's very strong. So it's an incredibly, and you guys know this, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to tell you anything that you don't know. But this is what Spirit is saying. This is like incredibly strong. I mean, this is a higher arcana card. So it's not just that the energy is off balance and then moves in quick and there's like this triggering of this impulse control. This is incredibly strong. And so, yeah, they're definitely asking you to go about the business of pulling in some of that earth healing. And there's something to do with heat, you guys. So anyways, this is just what I'm getting. I don't know if you're finding this very helpful or not, or if you're finding it validating. Sometimes it's just nice to be validated. I don't know a lot about Tourette's. This is just what I'm getting, okay? But the universe really wants to tell people that this is very hard for people with Tourette's. They feel judged. They feel beat up every day. They feel as though people are focusing negative emotions on them. It's hard for them to go out into the communities. And, Spirit wants us to balance these scales and be much more loving and caring and use our words and our thoughts very kindly when it comes to people that are suffering with this disease. Like, don't get aggravated if your sister has Tourette's and you're at the football game and something happens and she smacks you in the face, or she accidentally like yells out loudly at a time during the movie that people should be quiet. Like, people need to stop getting frustrated. It's not as if this is within their control. There's a misfiring going on. Energy is moving incredibly fast. It's very imbalanced, and then boom, it moves really quick, and it acts out in a way the same as like a surprise, a celebration would create us to act out in a way, oh, we quickly move, jump, laugh, whatever. And it's really strong, okay? And they're not comfortable in their own damn bodies. There's an imbalance, they're not comfortable. It's very uncomfortable being them. But there is a lot of healing in the earth, and there's something to do with heat and frequency and being still and nature. So like I said, I would be pulling in those negative ions that we get from the earth in every way that I possibly could. And I would be finding, because this is swords, I would be probably looking into acupuncture and high frequency healing. So I'm sorry, you guys. Let me just come over here and let me get my cards. I'm going to ask them to tell us the truth. I want a true story. Is Tourette's created? I'm almost wondering if it's a genetic passing on of, if it's genetically passed on. Because if you see these kids, he's handing the little sister something, right? So I am also wondering, if this is genetic and if that's been found out yet or not, because I know very little about this. So pardon my total ignorance on the subject. I'm so sorry, you guys. But Spirit knows, right? So now I'm asking, is this created? Is it a created disease, you guys? One more. We'll go in half, and then we'll do 3 again, and that will be it. And we'll start getting our answer there. Is this a created disease? Is it a dark agenda? Was it created? It's not, with this one, it's like breaking new ground. It's not really a creation. It's like there's something already there, and then there's this new thing that comes in. Are you saying this is genetic, possibly? Okay, the chains. The work. No. You know what, you guys? So it's quite a story. It might have been an accidental creation, the way this is being laid out. Okay, so I said, okay, well, with this, there's some things that's already there, and then something comes in, right? So you're thinking genes. A new gene mixes with these genes and creates the thing. So I think what happened was that it was created, by these terrible chains that bind. But it was maybe an accident. Maybe it was just a byproduct. They didn't even know they were creating it, but they were creating something. And then something new was introduced by these guys as they did their work, as they were doing work to create something, right? To break some new ground. And then Tourette's was invented. Yeah. And then Tourette's. Oh, geez, let me get that down. So, yeah, it's something that was created, but it was created, to me, it looks like it wasn't on purpose. It looks like it was something that happened in the creation of something, right? It wasn't expected, but it certainly was done while they were doing their work. And it's just created one more challenge in the world by these. I'm not going to swear. I'm not going to swear. Yeah, it's created another challenge in the world for families and yeah, it's just been brought in. It was an unexpected thing. The focus was on this stuff. The focus was on this stuff. And as they were working on this, whatever it was that they were creating on this, they introduced something, these guys did, that then created Tourette's to happen in the work that they were doing. It created a challenge in the world when they slipped this in, a new challenge in the world. Okay, so that's very sad. So yeah, I mean, I don't think the way this looks to me, it doesn't look like they said, hey, let's create a disease that does this. I think they would consider it like, oh, let's create these things. And then this happened, which would have been just a bonus for them, right? Because these guys are nefarious. So I want the universe to leave you guys with one card, one thing to focus on at the end of this reading, you guys. Anybody that has Tourette's or has a loved one that has Tourette's, all of us that hold compassion in our heart because we know that this and Spirit is just really cramming it to us that, this is horrid. This is a horrid thing to deal with. So all of us that hold compassion for that, and what can we all focus on today at the end of this reading? But especially, what can the people with Tourette's focus on? Especially for you guys, because you guys are the most important. You're the most important ones in all of this reading. This is for you, right? So I'm going to cut them in half, and then I'm going to cut them 3 more times, and we'll get our card. Okay. Just kind of straighten them out here. All right, so one last card from Spirit for us to focus on today. That gives us that clarity, that advice, something to focus on, you guys. Yeah, so I had said go to the beach, right? I had said I would go to the beach and I would start pulling in those negative ions that are so prominent at the beach. But something to focus on. So the King of Cups is very healing. He's an empath. So the message for all of us is to be empathic, to hold compassion, hold love, send healing, send light, right? To be that empath. But in reference to this question and the answers that we're getting, right, it's saying that there's an imbalance going on in the body. The energy moves fast, and then it's like a spontaneous thing. And it's very strong, right? So there's a misfiring that's going on. And that, there's, again, with the imbalance, again, we have these scales with the imbalance. So they couldn't scream that at us loud enough, right? So there's an imbalance. It creates a severe discomfort in the body. And I'm wondering, you guys, does it get worse around a full moon? Do you feel symptoms around the full moon? Because they're giving you these water cards too, right? So, and the moon has a lot of effect on the waters and the tides, right? So I'm just wondering if you just want to tell me in the comments, does it get worse for you in the moon cycles at any point? But it's really saying to pull in that earth healing. And there's something about heat. There's heat, and then there's frequency, right? Pokey things, acupuncture, frequency. But again, lots and lots of earth healing, Okay. And then I had said, go to the beach, grab those negative ions. And then we get this King of Cups. And what is he? He's on water. He's on water. He's on the ocean. If you look, there's sailboats behind him, right? So the ocean, the negative ions at the beach, they want to leave you with that. Something of healing in that ocean, the ocean water, as well as the earth, the beachy earth. So I hope that this helps, and I hope that it's not just regurgitating stuff that you maybe already knew. But even if it is, you're getting validation, right, from spirit. I'm sending you all so much love and healing. Start looking into those higher frequency healings, energy healing, acupuncture, Reiki, hands-on healing. Do your earthing, get out into nature, do as much earthing as you can. There's a lot of healing in nature. See your naturopaths, take in the herbs and things that could be healing for you. All this nature healing and the negative ions of the earth, which is just like, once again, reiterated here. So I would make sure that I was getting those negative ions into my home. I would be correcting all of my electronics if you have them, getting those positive ions taken care of, bring as much negative ion into my home as I possibly could. And you know what I would do, you guys? I personally would take some copper wire. I would go down through my floor. I would bury it down into the earth, and I would grid that to my bed. So my bed I would be getting the earthing and the negative ions from the earth while I slept. And I do believe there's earthing pads and earthing mattresses where you get those negative ions, but I would definitely be looking into all of that. Again, I am not a doctor. I am not a naturopath. I am not giving you medical advice. I'm just reading the cards and I'm telling you the information that's kind of flowing through me right now. Okay, you guys, much, much love, many, many blessings. And yeah, I am going to be back with that reading later on today around the biblical flooding. I just had forgotten that I was going to do this one first. All right, you guys, much, much love, many, many blessings from me to all of you. Take care.